Why, hello YouTube. This is Baylor Mage again, and we are coming at you with our day one update. We had an absolutely phenomenal day one stream. 1,000 subs in the first day, which by my measurements is absolutely gross. The amount of support has been amazing. We did 10 minutes short of a 24-hour stream. It has gone fantastically well. We got to change into Holy Relic right before maps. We found 3 divines on a Merc during the campaign, which is just disgusting. That jumped me straight into a Diala's. Absolutely loved that. I mean, we were running a 4-link Diala's for most of the day because I didn't have enough for jewelers or fuses, but we're into a 5-link now, so it's all going quite well. These mercenaries have been super fun. I love pillaging them. I love when they're helping me. Some of them are exceedingly dangerous. Some of them are just exceedingly dangerous. But overall, so far, initial impressions of the league is that it's absolutely fantastic. I got all the way to 2 watchstones, despite having a 1.5 hour or so, nearly 2 hours worth of not being able to log in at the beginning, because I was one of the people who was caught in that just unable to log into the beach, just constantly kicked out thing right at the beginning of the league. So despite that late launch, everything has been fantastic. Day one impressions is that I love this league so far. So let's jump into game and see where we ended on day one. There we go. All right, so here is our Holy Relic dude. There are a few things going on here that are slightly different from the guide. We mostly followed the same thing, but we, stuck with some limitations of like what was available to buy. Did I have any chromes? Did I have any fuses, etc.? So, but we have ended in a pretty goddamn good place with 5.2k life. We're res capped on everything except chaos, which is at 39 without flasks, which makes that 74 with flasks, which is fantastic. My flasks still aren't set or rolled, but at least I have them, so that's nice. I got a pretty decent pair of gloves. This is, I think this and the Diala's might be the only 2 things I bought. Everything else came off Mercs, so that's gross. We bought our Diala's right away. We've managed to 5-link it now. We cannot nearly afford to 6-link it. However, there's a few things else here that are pretty gross. My starter amulet is not fantastic, but it has +1 to all skills on it, and that'll do. My rings both came off Mercs, which is just how I've managed to chaos cap. They're nice. This I crafted 2/3 of the way through the day in 1 essence, which is absolutely bonkers for a few reasons. One, when we are making these swords, we expect on day 1 that we'd be lucky if we got any amount of attack speed on it at all. You might notice this is a different sword than I normally use. It's just because it was cheaper. It's still just a sword that starts with 1.6 attack speed base. Just any sword that starts with 1.6 attack speed base that we have the stats to equip is the deal here. This one just happened to be cheaper in a high item level, so I went with it this time. There's nothing special about it. But the things that are gross here is I put 1 single essence into this. I hit low on the minion damage roll, but I hit tier 1 attack speed, so I now have a 2.02 attack speed weapon to do my lancing steel with. It left an open suffix for trigger, and just to top it off, it got 10 life per enemy hit as the extra suffix there, which is actually fantastic to go with our life gain on hit. Like, we've only got 42 of it, now we got 52 of it, right? Like, absolutely fantastic. Love that. Stole this off a Merc. Just resistances, tiny bit of regen and some life. There's nothing special here. There's no life gain on hit. We don't have a Spalin. We don't have a surrender. Nothing like that. We are using just a normal Joffrey's. I have gone with the Herald of Purity setup. No Animate Guardian, no Spectre currently. Although I do have an Animate Guardian over here leveling. I do plan to test that, but we're just leveling gems in our off weapons here, and I just didn't bother to make the change and throw it in yet. Other than that, most of our shit is good. The only other thing that is worth mentioning is day 1, potentially day 2. This modifier is actually pretty good. Minions have a 20% increased cooldown recovery rate. As far as I can tell, this is actually just 1-to-1 with quality. Like, it's the same as getting 20 additional quality. So it just doesn't show on your Holy Relic gem. So this one says I have 45. The next breakpoint is 52. So I actually don't really need that much to get there. I'm certainly wasting a lot of this, but it only comes in a roll of 20. So it gets me to that 52% breakpoint. So that's the breakpoint I'm sitting at right now. And we're currently just using added chaos, chance to poison, void manipulation, and unbound ailments. I have a Merc that's a little outdated now because unfortunately it's level 68 and I am doing tier 16 maps with him. So I need to get a new one. However, I don't have a curse in my build right now. I just wasn't able to fit it. This guy's bringing temp chains, which he casts all the time. So it's fantastic. He's also bringing malevolence, and he also does a decent amount of his own damage. I also have a Leer cast on him so that he just hands me out that Leer cast buff. That is about as much as we are using this guy right now. And what else? I changed the tree ever so slightly. I took 1 extra jewel than normal because my jewels are exceptionally bad. I alt rolled all of them except this one. This one I picked up real cheap. Unfortunately, that fracture is at 10%, but all the rest of them I alt rolled myself. They're all quite bad and they'll be in the path of building, but it got me to 100% poison chance on day 1, which is what I was aiming to get. Every intention to replace all of these with better jewels. They are horribly bad. But otherwise, the rest of this tree is basically exactly what I expected it to be. You may notice I haven't done Uber Lab yet. I forgot until an hour or 2 ago, and it was just too late in the stream. So we're going to put the Eater and Exarch kills at the end of this video in case you're interested in seeing those. And last but not least, we will have our path of building here. According to path of building, we're only at 1.2 million DPS here. This does include this little setup right here where I put just a level 1 temp chains and what I'm guessing is level 15 malevolence. I'm just sort of guessing. He doesn't say what level malevolence he gives us, but he's level 68, so it's like just entering maps where I would normally have a level 16. I'm assuming he's a little worse than me, so I've put it at 15, sort of a guess. This doesn't account for his DPS or the Leer cast, so our DPS is slightly higher than this. But that is all I have. I am exhausted. I am going to go have as much sleep as I need before we start day 2. That was an incredibly long day. Obviously, tomorrow we're going to try and get rid of this chance to poison, cap without it, try and get ourselves a 6 link. Damage should continue going up quite well. Absolutely in love with this build. Incredibly happy to be back on PoE 1 again. Could not express my level of excitement to be playing PoE 1 again. Absolutely love it. All right, that is all I have. I will see everybody next time. Bye-bye.